Thank you, Jerry. Coach, two things. The wow factor of this game, wow, right?
Yeah.
But then Dallan Hayden replacing Travion and y'all sticking with him, and the way he ran was almost exactly what you needed it to look like. Just maybe address those two things.
Yeah, we didn't quite get the running game going there in the first half, and then made the change to Dallan, and he really got us into a rhythm. I thought he was hitting the holes hard. Right after the block punt there, two good hard runs, and that was good. And then from there on, I thought he almost broke a couple. He almost did, but for a young player with so much on the line here today, to play like that, first off, to take care of the football is the number one thing. When you hand somebody that football, you're putting the whole team in their hands, and that's something we talk about a lot. And so we trusted that Dallan was going to do that. He's had a couple spots this year, but this was big, and for him to get this game under his belt, I think will build some confidence.
And then the wow factor of this game, obviously, Michigan escaped against Illinois. Now you guys escaped basically today. The big setups for next week.
Yeah. And when you're playing on, in November in the Big Ten, I mean, these are challenges week in and week out. And the number one goal is to win and move on. There's been times this year where we've had style points, if you want to say, and we've won big, but there's going to be games where you don't jump out as fast as you would like to. We got to get that first drive going, and okay, here we go. It's going to be one of those days, and it just wasn't quite that way, and there's some reasons for that we need to clean up. But what I think was the most important thing was at halftime we came together and said, okay, it's going to be a 4-quarter battle now, and sometimes we get in these games they're not, but this was going to be, and we really buckled down in the third quarter, did a nice job there, and then finished out the game the way we should.
Over to the left hand, both 11 Warriors.
Ryan, you guys gave up 293 passing yards today. How much of a concern is that as you get into a point of a season where you're going to face more top quarterbacks?
Yeah, it usually isn't about the yards, but I thought Talia played his heart out today. I thought he played really well, did a nice job. But yeah, I mean, there's some plays in there that we're going to look at and try to address what's going on there, because certainly we like to see better play. But there's good players in this league, and they're gonna get yards. I thought our defense did a good job of forcing field goals at times, especially early in the game. But our number one goal in the plan to win is to play great defense, and they did throw for too many yards today for sure. But we'll take a look and try to figure that part out.
Austin Ward, Rivals.
Ryan, it's easy and probably unfair for us outside the program to say, well, maybe they just looking ahead to next week, because a lot of us maybe already were. Did you sense that at all throughout the week, or at any point today that the focus wasn't there?
It's hard to say. I just got done with the team, and you probably can imagine what the first thing that was said is, it's on the team of North.
Yeah.
But it's hard for me to do that when guys just put their bodies on the line. I mean, that was a hard-fought game out there. When you're playing the game of football, it's not like any other sport like basketball. You go out there and run up and down the court and shoot a little bit. I mean, you're putting your body on the line. And these guys strained and they played hard. And to see Lathan block another punt, to see Dallan come in and play the way he did, the offensive line was grinding. The defensive line, to see Zach Harrison get that fumble at the end, guys kept playing, and Tommy Eichenberg playing hard. I mean, there was a lot of guys. So they still need to be recognized for that. You can't just go through the motions and think you're going to win a conference game like this on the road. All that being said, our number one goal is to be the team up north. And so now we're into week 11, and you can't just show up and win these games. You have to fight and play. But we're already into the team up north week.
Over to the right, Tony Girdman, Buckeye Huddle.
Ryan, now that you start talking about Michigan, how hard has the last year been, like living with a loss to Michigan?
Yeah, that has not been easy. Hasn't been good. We'll probably talk about it more this week. But looking forward to the preparation, and our guys have been focused on it all off season. And during the season, it's always been in the back of our minds. We work it every day of the year. And so the week is officially here.
Bill Rabinowitz, Columbus Dispatch.
Ryan, did this game conjure up memories of 4 years ago at times? And we know Maryland's got talent. They haven't always put it together. Was this kind of Maryland team you feared you'd see?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're very dangerous. They're very athletic. Real good cover guys. Obviously, Talia is very talented. He has some good weapons on the outside. Like, those guys played good. Just looking at their numbers. But, yeah, I mean, that was it. And the the field goal or the extra point there, we went for 2. You know, that right there was a mistake. We can't let happen. You know, we got to delay a game, and then, you know, in that situation, we wanted the tackle to come over. We didn't put the tackle over, so we had a short edge, and that blocks, and so that cost us 3 points. So I was very upset after that. And, you know, when those things start happening, you know, all of a sudden, you know, it could turn into a bad situation fast, and it almost did. But I give our guys credit; they kept fighting, and they refused to lose.
Clay Hall, WSYX.
Does it matter how you go into next week coming off this high? Is that a huge thing, or will it be tough to bring them down?
I mean, I think if you look over the years, there's probably been times when, you know, for instance, last year it was 49-0 at halftime. We played Michigan State, was a top 10 team, and then lost the game. There's other times where you limp into the game and you win the game. You know, so at this point, it's just a matter of going to win the game. And you know, I know they were in a battle today. It's playing in the Big Ten in November.
Nathan Barrett, Cleveland.com.
First to clarify, so Dallan stayed in the second half more for performance reasons than any re-injury to Trevion?
No, we did hold Trey there at one point. Yeah, it got to the point where we just decided we weren't going to put him in anymore.
Okay, and just those inside cuts that Dallan was making, what does that mean for this offense?
Well, I mean, he's seeing it. He's seeing it, and I think when you see him hit it, he's running through contact. I mean, you can just feel him. He's got really good feet, made some guys miss. Even at the end there, when it was the 4-minute drill, you know, they had everybody in there. And if you throw and get an incompletion, then they don't use one of their timeouts. So we had to run it to eat up the clock. You know, as frustrating as that is, and as hard as that is, you got to do it. But that being said, there was a couple of guys in the hole that were extra guys that he made miss, and it kept kept those things moving, kept the chains moving, and got us, you know, on schedule. And I thought it was well done.
Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
Ryan, for Lathan to block a just this play, that drive specifically, to give you guys that momentum. What does that say about him the other week?
I mean, production. You know, production. And in today's day and age, there's a lot of things that go on and said and everything like that. This guy's producing. I mean, to block 2 punts in back-to-back weeks. I mean, I don't know has that been done before at Ohio State? I don't know. I'll have to look, but that's amazing. And then that was a really huge point of the game. It got us a lot of momentum.
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Brian, coming into this week last year, CJ was probably coming off the ultimate high, given how he performed in that game. Where do you feel like he is heading into that week once again with what he's been able to do these last couple weeks? And also, you have the update on Matthew Jones. What happened there?
Yeah, Matt got rolled up on. I quickly saw Sean on the way out. I didn't get an answer on what exactly his situation is, but no, I mean, you know, it was one of those games you kind of had to manage a little bit, and I thought CJ did that. We got a couple, got a holding call there and a few things down the line. I thought the clutch, unbelievable throw and catch there, just competing. You know, it wasn't exactly the way we drew it up, but he competed, made the throw, and Emeka made a great catch, and that kept us going, which was huge, and ultimately kind of ate up enough clock to allow us to kind of end the game.
Bill Landis, Rivals.
Right, I want to make sure I ask this right. I know Trevion's trying to be tough and just help the team and play through stuff. But even on that long play at the start of the game, he didn't look comfortable. He was grimacing in pain. What went into the decision to play him? And then looking back, was that best for him and best for the offense?
Yeah. He had a great week of practice. We decided to shut him down last week to see, you know, how that would go, and had really good week of practice. Really didn't have much pain, and so he's trying to figure out, you know, what that's going to be like, you know, playing in the game with his situation. And so he's still kind of working through that, and we'll keep evaluating it day after day.
Did you feel like it held back? Because he's averaging less than 2 yards a carry. It puts you in difficult third down situations. Like, did that hinder the offense at all? Just not having a guy who was 100%.
You know, I think I got to probably watch the film and just see it before I answer that. But I know what you're asking.
Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch.
Brian, you had at least 1 4th and 1 where you threw the ball. And then you've talked about you got to put your hand in the dirt, you got to get that yard, and yet you didn't. Is that just you being aggressive? Is it, I'm not sure we can get that yard? And where are you in that whole process?
You know, on that one in particular, I felt like we had a really good matchup out there with Marvin, and actually we did. And he had a lot of cushion, and he was open. But I was kind of looking at the coverage to see what was going on. But CJ, there was obviously leakage in there, and it was a max protection, so it should have been a nice clean pocket, and it should have been a pretty easy throw and catch. We thought schematically it was a good play, and that was, you know, kind of more of what our thought process was as opposed to trying to prove something or anything like that at that point. You know. but we didn't execute it, and so again, get to the film and figure out how to execute better next time.
We'll go a couple more folks. Doug Lamarice, Cleveland.com.
Ryan, you guys are 12-0 since you lost to Michigan. Where do you feel like this team is, this program is, heading now back into the game?
Well, I think we're more experienced. I think we're, we've been scarred, even though, like you said, we've been on a 12-game run. Coming off of that game, we were highly motivated this season to get back to where we are right now. So there's been a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get back to where we are right now and get the team to this point right here. So now all the chips go in, and now it's time to go to work this week and have a great week in preparation for the game on Saturday.
Joey Kaufman, Plymouth Dispatch.
Ryan, any white penalties were still out there, especially some of the delay of game stuff?
They were winding it fast coming off the sideline, and one of them I got to get in faster. Another one that I think CJ maybe lost the clock. How many we ended up having? Yeah, that's too many. So I don't know if I have a great answer for that. I know that a couple of those administratively we could have done a better job. One of them, I don't think one of the guys was set when we called it. We got the penalty at the end of the game there. The guys went crazy down there in the end zone, so they threw a flag there. So I guess it was 11-10 on the penalties, but I'll have to go figure out and do a little running tomorrow. Coaches run too in this penalty, so to do a little running and get a workout.
Yeah. All right, come on, Dallan. Anybody else with one? Okay, we're going to go two more with Coach Pat Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Ryan, just the last two plays to end it by the defense. Obviously, not perfect all day, but they step up. And what was that like on the sideline? You mentioned the celebration, but that whole series or something.
Well, I thought the 4-minute drill was pretty well done. We didn't quite ice the game, but we ate up a lot of clock and got a couple first downs. Ate up all 3 timeouts, and then got the thing down at the inside of a minute. And then you got to make a decision on 4th down. It was a 45-yarder. I think we were right at 45. We had the one blocked earlier, but that was because we didn't have a tackle over us. It still felt confident that we could protect, and felt like at that point, if you make the field goal, then now they have to score a touchdown to beat you, and that was the bottom line there. Could have gone for it. I guess what was it? Probably 4th and 6 or 7. Just felt like that was the right thing to do. Make the field goal, great execution, big time. Now, that's clutch by Noah to make that field goal. We get really good coverage on the kickoff. They've done a nice job all year. They have some talented guys that did a nice job getting that thing down inside the 10. And then at that point, they need some big chunks. So, we call a defense where we're going to kind of keep it in front of us, but those guys still got after the quarterback. And I think a 3-man rush and 2 big sacks and end the game. And great to see the guys finish the game like that. Not worried about all those other things other than just winning the game, and then really big time play by Zach there at the end.
Cameron Teague Robinson, The Athletic. Last question for Coach.
Ryan, I'm kind of off that. Obviously, Zach makes those 2 plays, but you look at the Penn State game. The defensive line, JT, comes up big when you need him. This defensive line all year has come up big when you needed him. In turn, they've been, probably even more motivated than some since that Michigan game. What's it been like to see their growth from that game a year ago to where they are now?
Yeah, I think they take a lot of pride in their production, and I think that's really the most important thing is are you making plays or are you not? And it's not always seen by the interior guys, because a lot of times they're taking on blocks and the linebackers can run down and make tackles. So I think when you see Tehran and you see Ty Hamilton and you see Mike Hall and those guys, so they don't always maybe get the production that we all see. But when they're knocking back the line of scrimmage, that's what's really important. And boy, is that going to be important next week. We're going to have a team that's going to try to run it right at us, and so we're going to have to really do a great job on the inside. We're going to have to do a good job on the edge. Our linebackers have to play big.
You get the sense Mayan will be back next week? That
is the hope. And it was trending that way. So
Coach,
to win it and to go into next week on that note.
Yeah, first and foremost, I want to give all glory and praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, being able to come out here against a tough Maryland team, get a victory, being 11-0. So it's a blessing to be able to say that. Something that we worked on before the off season and in the season. So it's a tough battle. It's like going uphill in these type of environments, and definitely I'm glad we came up with the victory.
Is it better to go into next week with a dub?
Yeah, of course. We don't want to lose. So.
Dallan Hayden seemed like the right tonic, at least for the running game, when he got in there and stuff. I mean, there's a freshman giving his all. What do you think about Dallan Hayden at this point, CJ?
Yeah, Dallan's a hard worker. He's definitely been preparing like a pro, so I'm super proud of him, super happy for him. Definitely did a great job toting the ball and taking care of it. So super proud of him, and I think there is more to come.
Is that as tight a coverage as you've seen this year from the defense? I mean, they seem to be running with the receivers pretty well for the most part. What was your take on that?
No, not really. I mean, I think that, of course, we knew that their DB core was pretty good, and we were going to have to attack them not only down the field, but in intermediate situations. So we just got to be more crisp, got to just be better, you know what I'm saying? So I think at the end of the day, winning 11-0, man, that's still pretty good to me. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough playing late in the season, man. It gets hard because every team wants to chip you off. So
the defensive brothers
you've had a couple. Let's think about it every time. And how often have you thought about that last year's Michigan game? And now that we're in this week, how are you thinking about it? How you approaching it?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Of course, we've been licking our wounds for 365 days. We're hearing all the laughing, all everything that everybody's been saying. So I definitely think that we've been preparing for it, not only on the field but in the weight room as well. So, man, we're very excited.
CJ, Emeka has been hard on himself for a couple drops the last couple weeks. He came up with a couple really big ones for you late. How had he responded? How did you see him stay consistent maybe throughout that?
I mean, he's been battling through injury, and that's never fun, you know what I mean? So I think that he'll definitely be getting healthy, and he's going to continue to be a great football player. I mean, my faith has never went down in him. He's always going to be Matthew Booker to me, which is a great football player and a great man of God. So I definitely think he has better things to come.
One last question, folks.
What does it say about the depth of this team with injuries to Jackson and then the backfield? It seems like someone's always stepping up. What's that like for you as a quarterback?
Right, yeah. It just shows that, the type of stamina that we have, being competitive and the competitive excellence. Whenever your number's called, you answer the bell. And we prepare like that, next man up mentality. But it's been hard. Of course, I wish my brothers were still out here playing with me, like Jackson and mine and everybody else who's been missing out. But I definitely think that when you find ways to win, that's all you can ask for. This team is very tough. I love the way we competed tonight, even though it wasn't pretty. I don't think a lot of games today were pretty, if I can remember. So at the end of the day, man, it's about the next game. It's about just winning. So we can find a way to win, and all glory to God. So.
Great. CJ, thank you very much.
What were your instructions from Coach Alford and maybe Coach Day and stuff when they finally put you in the game, especially going into the second half there? Was it hit the hole as blocked? I mean, just give us a little insight on it.
They just told me trust whatever I see, and most importantly, take care of the ball.
Yeah. And what was that like to get that call in a game like this with the season on the line, on the brink, really?
I mean, I just knew I had to be ready. Like, when my number's called, they needed me to go in, and I felt like I was ready, and my teammates were very encouraging, so that always helps.
Dallan, over to the left here, Bill Landis, rivals.
Dallan, it looked like at halftime, right before you all about to come out, you were sitting on the bench and Riley was talking to you for quite a bit. What was he telling you, I guess, to kind of keep in your mind as you were getting ready to go out there?
He was just telling me calm down, It's obvious, as a true freshman, sometimes you can get overwhelmed, but I felt like I was good, and he was just being motivating like he always is.
Right next door, Nathan Baird, Cleveland.com.
You were hitting those inside cutbacks like pretty naturally throughout the second half today. Is there something since you got here that Coach Alford has emphasized through drills or something like that that's helped you hit those the way you were?
Yes, drills. He does a lot of good drills for our tailbacks, and then film. Like we usually watch film pretty closely, and so yes.
Well, what is it that you like see on film that's helped you recognize those better?
Just where plays are supposed to hit and what you're supposed to look at, pre-snap. I feel like that's good.
Over here to the right, Rob Aller, Columbus Dispatch. We'll get you.
Have you had to learn, I don't know if you dance a little bit when you run because you're not doing it out there. Have you had to kind of scale it back and just hit the hole, go north-south? Is that something that's been easy, hard, or is that just naturally who you are?
I feel like I've always naturally been able to just hit the hole, get downhill, get vertical. Never really been like a dancing type of back. So yeah, I feel like it's natural.
And how hard is it to not have the moment be too big? I mean, you said that you felt pretty good, but in this situation, the game's on the line, does that cross your mind? Where are you kind of mentally, emotionally with what's happening in the moment?
I just always try to maintain a next play mentality. You know, you're gonna have good plays, bad plays. You just can't like think about the last play. Just keep moving forward. I feel like that's helped me.
And what do you need to work on still? I mean, you look pretty good out there blocking, anything like that?
I feel like I can always get better. You know, running, blocking, stronger. But I feel like that'll come with experience.
Gentleman over here to the right.
Counts. What does that mean for you to be able to perform like this today when your number is called?
I mean, it just feel like it just means like I can show my coaches that they can trust to put me in. Like if they need me, like I can do that.
And Spencer Holbrook, Letterman Row.
When you got here in the summer, what were your expectations for what the season could be? And obviously, I'm assuming 3 touchdowns in a road game might not have been on that list. Where does this rank in terms of things that you've been able to do here so far?
I mean, I would say it ranks pretty high, but I know I still got to get better. But like coming in, like I honestly didn't know what to expect, especially since I was a summer enrollee, and usually with us summer guys, it like kind of takes time for us to learn everything. But I feel like this summer I locked in, learned the playbook, and it just helped me, honestly.
How'd you ace that learning curve so easily? Or so, how did you get here? Like, you seem to be past that learning curve that guys come into the summer with. How did you get there?
Well, I feel like I have the best running back coach in the country, and then Coach Jeffers just as well. So they helped me like get through the learning curve, I'd say. And then I come from a football background, so I feel like that helps just as well.
And final question for Dallan. Kevin Noon, right in the center field there.
Now, you haven't cracked a smile yet. Is this not sunk in, or are you just a chill guy? I mean, you think you would have like a lot of emotion about this.
I mean, no, I'm just a chill guy. Yeah, just pretty chilled. Media sometimes I can be nervous, but I feel like I'm trying to get better at that.
And we one more, Dallan, Joey Kaufman, Columbus Dispatch.
Down, you had, I think, 27 carries tonight, and a lot of those came in the second half. Is there any game in high school that you had a workload like this, or anything?
Man, I had a lot of carries in high school. I mean, a lot of people would just say it was run me. So yeah, I've had a workload in high school before.
So this isn't too bad?
Nah.
Doesn't a workload here feel different than a workload in high school?
Oh yeah, it feels way different. I mean, guys are obviously bigger, stronger, faster. Yeah, it's way different than high school for sure.
Great.
Do you think that emulates toughness?
Yeah, I think it does.
How are you psyching yourself up before a punt block, though, knowing you're going to have to stick your hand out there when your thumb is broken to swat the ball?
We just doing what we got to do to win the game. Doing what I got to do for my brother. I mean, at the end of the day, like Tommy's playing with 2 messed up hands, and what's my excuse to not go out there and play?
Lathan, you guys have won every game since losing to Michigan last year. Where do you feel like this team is right now, heading into the Michigan game next week?
I mean, we definitely have this. We've had this one circled all year. This is one of our main goals: beat the team on North. So that's all. I mean, we've had this game circled all year, and that's all I have to say.
Was your hand hurt at all? What were they doing specifically against you guys offensively that was creating a lot of problems for you? It looked like you did a great job of spreading the ball around. I think 9 or 10 different guys caught passes. That's a hard offense to try and keep it in check.
Yeah, they spread the ball around. They got the ball fast. He was making a lot of plays, extending plays. I mean, they had a good game plan in, but at the end of the day, we made adjustments and we finished the game.
Was your hand hurt before coming into today's game?
No, they were having the first play.
Wow, that's crazy.
Lathan, how do you evaluate the performance of the pass defense today?
We got to get on the film and see that. I can't answer that question yet.
What are maybe the things that you feel like led to some struggles in that area today?
I think we just got to get on the film and see what the corrections need to be and make them there.
Before the punt block, you had a big tackle for loss back there. Take me through that play and what you saw on it.
I mean, that's the play that I hurt my thumb on first. That was a big explosive at the beginning of the game. That was on me, and I had to get that fixed, make adjustments, and I didn't let it happen again.
So then, how rewarding is it to correct your mistake and then make a big play on the same play that you messed up on?
I mean, it felt great. great. It felt great. I think you can certainly see the emotion I had on that play. So it felt great. No, I had the cast on the whole game after the first play.
Okay. You didn't block it with your cast.
Yeah, I did. Painful. It felt great.
Is it because you're still rolling off some adrenaline right now?
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know.
I know you said last week that Parker Fleming made an adjustment to allow you to make that punt block. Was there anything that you guys did scheme-wise?
No, this is the one we had on the game plan. They was gonna come in tight if they saw me off the edge, but if I still had space, I was still gonna go, and still went. And Coach Parker drew up another great one. So appreciate him.
Now you got Michigan. It's the game you point to all year. Knowing it's for all the marbles, it's for everything. Can you describe what the feeling is on the team right now?
It's the one game that we've had in the back of our minds all year, and now it's time. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure y'all can imagine how we're all feeling without me saying too much.
And this is unique in that in future years, if the Big Ten goes without divisions and this big expanded playoff, you can play that multiple times a year. I can do that this year. This is for everything.
Yep.
How special does that make it?
That's just how we want it. That's just how we want it.
How was that loss out with you all for the last?
That's all we thought about. We had to sit there and just let everyone talk, let everyone say what they want to say, and now we're getting ready for the game, big game.
Why do you think
dealing with it? They're out there on the field playing. Like, what do I got to say if I'm a little sore, if my knees hurt or so and so? I just got to go play. We all got to go play.
Zach, next week, I think it'd be your last game at Ohio State. Just what do you think that whole experience would be like, and everything that's at stake? Just what?
Honestly, it really hasn't hit me that this was my last game in the shoe. It probably will on Saturday when I'm running out there on the tunnel. But it's the biggest game of the year. It's the most important game of the year. We live in 365, so he's ready.
What did you see when the ball popped in the air on that second sack?
I didn't even see it. I had no idea the ball was in there. So
Then what did you see? The touchdown?
I didn't. I was celebrating with JT, and then I looked at the score. Was we got 43. So.
What happened last year? Michigan been on your guys' mind pretty much every day. How much of it?
Every single day. Every day.
In what way are you guys?
We lost. It hurt, especially being from Columbus. How much we put into it. We lost. So every single day we think about it.
Was it just losing, or what came with that? If you guys being questioned and the toughness and the smash mouth, all that stuff, how much did it bother?
A lot. Everybody feel like it took a little personal, or a lot personal. From the coaches to the players to the EQ guys, everybody took it personal. So just.
How do you bring that to the upcoming week? Because it can be too emotional.
Just go play hard.
How do you feel like you guys did overall as a pass defense for that?
I don't know. I gotta go watch the film and see. I know. Honestly, I have no idea. I don't know what the DBs do half the time, so I just, so I don't know.
Three-man pass rush is supposed to happen. That's what good for sacks.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do on both those plays?
Just get to the quarterback. That's really the only thing that's on my mind is because me and JT had talked about it before we went out there on that series, the second of the game. I was just trying to go, in the game.
What are the odds, though? If you get 10-15%, you get even a hand in his face.
Yeah, I don't really know about none of the odds or nothing. I just, just go play ball, go rush, try to get to the quarterback.
Any special moves?
Honestly, I don't even know what I hit. I was just out there rushing.
You drew a blank.
Yeah, in the mode, so I'll call it. Yeah.
It seems like you guys, whenever you've needed that big play this year, you've been able to come up with it as a defense. What is it maybe that you guys are doing in practice that you think enables you guys to do that in the game?
Just our confidence level. The game's never out of reach. If we get a lead, we feel like we can win the game. They got to score to take the lead back, and that's just something that I keep harping on. Coach Knowles brought that mentality that every time we step on the field, they're like, we're the best defense in the country, and that's what we really believe.
And from a group pride standpoint, you guys, especially up front, it just seems like y'all are making plays.
Yeah.
When they're really needed. Does it feel like that too, Zach?
Yeah, it goes back to just confidence. Just believing in the scheme, believing in the guy next to you, and that when the time comes, you'll make the play. Or maybe it's not you, but somebody will make the play, and that's just how we play. It doesn't really matter who makes the plays because it's all 11 of us out there together.
And especially the way this game ended, does this give y'all, just as a group, a boost going into next week? Everybody remembers what happened last year.
Yeah, I don't know if we need any more motivation than we already got going into that week. So.
Zach, Ron said this week that last year's Michigan game changed the mindset of the defensive line.
Yeah.
How much did it change Like, how did it change your mindset? And what did you do in the offseason to make this something?
We lived it every day. You know, Coach Mick didn't let us forget, you know, how many yards they ran for and what they did, both sides, O-line and D-line, you know, and it's just something that, you know, it's been in the back of our mind since a whole year ago. You know, we just got to go out there and play on Saturday, get the win.
Is that the biggest difference, the mindset for this team?
I think so.
It's the same guys.
Same guys.
Just playing a different way.
That's 100% the mindset. You know, we just confidence in ourselves and confidence in our coaches and our staff and our scheme, just that we'll go out there and play ball.
Did you guys say anything to each other going after that last series? I mean, obviously, it's not over till it's over.
Yeah.
Season on the brink, I mean,
Yeah.
et cetera. Did you defensive line guys especially talk to each other or defense?
Yeah, we knew. We said we were all huddled up and we were like, a sack ends the game. And we knew that going on the field, and that's what we were trying to do.
Zach, you know this rivalry, 11-0 versus 11-0. Though, how can you put into words what you think this version of Ohio State Michigan is going to be like?
Honestly, no. We just got to see on Saturday. You know, we're going to go out there and play our hardest.
2 versus 3 with everything on the line.
I mean, what more could you ask for, though? You know.
That's the kind of dream. That's probably the kind of game that you dream of playing in when you commit to Ohio State, right?
Yeah.
Zach, I'm not sure if you talked about Lathan, but he said he
I'm
broke-
good?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Oh, sorry, bro. You can go ahead. Last one. I got you.
Lathan said he broke his thumb on the first play that he was out there.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that, and how did that maybe change things for you guys defensively?
Yeah, we were on the sideline, and Lay walks up. He's like, bro, my hand's broke. And I was like, damn. You gonna play? He's like, yeah, I gonna play. And so, you know, I was talking about him and Tommy, you know, just having those two guys out there with what they're dealing with, it just kind of makes it be like, well, I'm good. Like, whatever I'm got on, my hands work. I'm good. So, you know, just kind of the toughness mentality that, you know, it brings to the defense.
What did you see from his toughness when he blocked that punt, especially with a broken thumb already?
Yeah, he tough. I said when he one of the toughest guys on the team, I think, personally. So
Toughness, that's the word, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm